Oh, hey everyone, hang on. I'm back. I forgot to connect my internet. So it is day 22 of the 21 day challenge. I forgot to say it's Annie. How are you guys doing? Okay, so I waited an extra day to talk about the last day of day 21 because it is an overview. It is a self assessment. And I wanted to give you guys time to go ahead and do that assessment because a lot of people like to skip that step. We like to just keep going and not even look back to see how we did. But if you're at work and you take a look at how, you're going to meetings, right? In the meetings, they're asking for reports. They want to know how things went, what's doing well, what's not doing well, right? And we need to do that the same for our health, especially. What went well during this challenge, what didn't go well, so that way you can make the changes and get the results that you want. So it's very, very important to do that self-assessment. And if you have not done it, please take the time to do it. But I do want to congratulate you for making it to 21 days. I actually want to congratulate myself for making it for 21 days. Unfortunately for me, I did not get to work on the sleep that I wanted. Australian Open tennis was going on and I just had to be awake to watch it. But I am going to get started this week and I'm super excited. But I do want to congratulate you. So congratulations. And I do have a giveaway for those of you who participated, whether it's a day. So I don't know if you guys noticed that I have been wearing shirts that represent oil. So I wore 5 different shirts that represented different oils. So if you go back and check on the shirts, there will be a raffle. Just either contact me direct or put a comment what the 5 oils were of the shirts that I wore. And then you'll be put into a raffle to win one of the 4 oils, not today's. Today's is liquid gold. And I saved gold for today because it's kind of like, you're going for the gold, right? It's your health. But it's going to be 4 different oils that you can choose from in that raffle. So, but I also wanted to go over about the habits and the habit stacking and why a lot of times people kind of bump their head, they're hitting a wall over trying to start a habit and not being able to do it, right? And then you get frustrated and you get mad, like I really wanted to do this thing and I didn't get to do it. And we kind of beat ourselves up over it over and over and over again. And the reason why is, a lot of people, like even for me in the beginning, it's like you're always going to learn a new thing, and you don't end up doing it. A lot of it is because of what happened to us in the past, right? We formed our habits based on all of our experiences in the past. Our bodies are made to protect us. So if there's certain bad things that happen, our bodies remember that and it's going to keep that habit and keep you in protection. So that's why a lot of times a habit, they say it's 21 days, but honestly, it's not 21 days. It's more than 21 days. I think it's an extra, it's in the 30s, but it is definitely more than 21 days. So make sure to keep going. And doing your habit, whatever it is that you're working on. I actually recommend making sure you're drinking water, right? Making sure you're getting enough sleep. So it's just, I want to go over the 5 simple steps. So number 1, actually, I did do a little, here we go. I'm going to put it this way here. So that way I made the text big enough. So number 1, right, is to make sure you are taking deep breaths. Right. So especially anytime when you get in a stressful situation, you have to take that deep breath, even if it's just for, 20 seconds, because right now, what happens is when you're stressing out, your brain is just sending all these messages to your bodies, right? And it's making it so that it's going to increase your blood pressure. It's going to increase your hormone production, and it's just going to cause havoc into your body anytime you're stressing. So when you're taking that deep breath, it's like resetting your body, right? And telling it to just calm down and relax. And we don't have to increase all of these things in our body. Okay. And then number 2 is to pretty much focus on the moment. A lot of times we are never focused on the moment. We're either focused in the future or we're focused in the past, right? We need to stay focused in the moment. So what happens again, people are stressing over things that can happen, or they're stressing over things that already happened. And that's where worry comes, right? So one of the things I like to tell people is, especially with worry, and I used to be a big worry wart, is worrying is like paying finances on a loan that you never took, right? When you stop to think about it, it's like, oh, dang, I don't want to pay any interest, right? So it's actually paying interest, right? Paying interest on a loan that you never took. Always try and focus on just the moment that's happening, and the best way to do that is to go to your senses. So like if you're taking a walk, instead of letting your mind wander, like focus again on your legs, on the muscles that's happening. When you're eating, focus on the taste of the food. When you're drinking, focus on the liquid that's coming down, and that really helps you to focus on that moment. There is a movie called The Peaceful Warrior. It's a very, very good example on that. I think they have it on Amazon or Netflix, but it's a very good explanation on how to just focus on that one moment. And I won't. I was about to tell you the end, but I won't. But it's a good movie called Peaceful Warrior. And so that was number 2. And then the next thing, you want to go ahead and number 3 is to reframe the situation. Okay. A lot of times we kind of get stressed out, we get overwhelmed, we make things bigger than they are, when really it isn't. Sometimes it is, right? So I'm not knocking that, but sometimes, most of the time, it isn't. And we make things a lot harder than they need to be, right? Something so simple. That's why it's so great to be a child, right? They make everything so easy. There's not that much drama. It's like, oh, they're fighting. It's, oh, you want to be my friend? Okay, right? And it's like they just kind of made it up. And all that drama is gone, right? So, so basically, just kind of reframe the situation, and then you can see all the different ways and all the different possibilities to come out of that situation that you're in, and just to stay a little bit and not stressed out. Okay, so I'm going to go over different ways to. Hang on, there you go. I keep pushing it. So number 1, right? How to reframe that situation basically is to look at what is actually stressing you out, right? And this happens a lot in arguments. A lot of times people are upset at something else, but they're yelling at somebody else, right? And this is very important, especially right now. We need to really appreciate the relationships that we have, right? So so just look at what is actually the one thing that is stressing you out, because that is going to make a big difference, right? And it's going to make a big difference on your stress, because you're letting something out on somebody else. That person's going to get upset, and then it's just going to cause havoc all over the household. So we don't want to do that. Okay. Number 2 is to think about and consider, what can you change about the situation? A lot of times we worry about things that we can't change, right? This is why I tell people, don't watch the news. I have a lot of people tell me, I can't believe you're not watching the news. I don't have the luxury to stress out, so I don't watch the news. So there is a point where I was watching it and I could feel all of my flare-ups starting again. So I need to stop, right? So especially when it comes to your health, you're the only person that knows what your body can and cannot handle. And you can kind of have an inkling when it's had a little bit too much. So consider about what it is that you can and cannot change. If it's things that you can't change, well, don't focus on that so much. Focus on all the things that you can change. Okay. And then number 3 is, again, to look for the positives. I talk about that a lot. It's always looking for the positives. That's why it's really, really good to always and be grateful for things, right? If you can't find anything positive, just be grateful that you woke up today. Because there's people right now that are not waking up. I'm going to cry. Sorry. But there's people right now that are not waking up. And be grateful that you woke up today. Okay. Whoo. Number 4, find the humor, right? This is actually my outlet all the time. Well, my outlet really is I try to look at everything positive, and I also try to find the humor in everything. Most of the time that humor is at me and they're laughing at me. And you know what? I'm okay with that, right? Because, as long as people aren't stressing out, then it's good. Okay. So that was number 3 on reframing, right? Reframing the situation. Okay. Number 4 is to keep your problems in perspective. Okay. A lot of times we're looking at things, we're so focused on that one problem, and we're focusing on it on a way that it's not giving us a way to look for a solution to the problem, because we're so zoned in on that one thing. But if you kind of take a step back, you'll be surprised at how much solutions will come to you, and it's no longer as big of a problem as you make it out to be or feel that it is. So yeah, keep keep your problems in perspective. The oil that I like to use for this actually is balance, right? Balance just makes it seem like that's not an issue. Yeah, whatever, right? So I love the balance. You can put the balance on the bottom of your feet for that. Okay. And then number 5. Okay, and this is the one I'm going to talk about because this is what I've been into lately, is to practice the mindful meditation and visualization. Okay, so again, our bodies are meant to be protecting us. Constantly, our bodies, 24/7, we are on high alert, right? I talked about this before in another video. Our flight or fight syndrome, it's always on. We're on high alert. I think I gave the example of if you're at a crosswalk and you see an old man there, you're fine. Everything's fine. But if you see him over there and he's holding some knife, like all of a sudden you're like, whoa, high alert, right? Now you're looking to protect yourselves. So what meditation does, right? A lot of people think meditation is to shut the mind and to not have any thoughts. You're not going to not have any thoughts. You're always having thoughts regardless. What it is meditation helps it to try to relax your body, right? And to turn off that 24/7 flight or fight syndrome. Okay, so I actually have a meditation chair. That whole purpose of that meditation chair is to confuse the mind into thinking like it's a bunch of weird sounds going on, and then the chairs actually has a little vibration sounds on it. There's a magnet in there to help with the chi, but it's mainly there to confuse the mind, to shut off the 24/7. When it continuously hears that, it's just like, oh, okay, that's a regular thing. I can relax, right? So I actually started using this app. It's called Brain Tap, and I thought it was like, okay, it's like any other, it's like any other app that I have out there. There's a Calm app. I love my apps. But the Brain Tap, I think there's a free one as well. I don't know if you can see it, but you can choose the different ones. There's a sleep section there. There's weight and wellness, there's optimal health, there's stress for me, there's worry free, right? And there's also children and learning. But you can choose your sessions that you're going to go through. The sessions are about 20 minutes. I put a link below to give you more descriptions on it. But in the beginning, I was just using it. It was like, yeah, whatever. But then they came out with this headphones with a visor that has this flashing lights on it. And since I started using that, I felt kind of a big difference. And I'm like so excited to use it. So I'm going to show you. And it has to do with light and sound therapy. So let me see if I can bring this here. Okay. Light and sound therapy. So I'm going to turn this on. I don't know. Hopefully you guys can see it. Oh, I don't know. But the light in the headphones actually went on. And I was like, why do we need light in our ears, right? But Google that, right? There's something about the light going into our system. It's for light therapy part. And these meditations are like binaural beats. And I'm pronouncing it correctly. But at the same time, when I push play on this, the lights on the visor, let me see. Hopefully you guys can see it. The lights on the visor also come up. And can you see it? It's like blinking. And it's actually really pretty cool. You keep your eyes shut, but it's got this flashing light. And for me, I have a lot of eye issues. It's actually very relaxing to my eyes. But it really makes me get more into it. So I highly, highly recommend this one. For those of you guys who are near me, you're very welcome to try a session. But I also got a 15-day trial for people to go ahead and try this app. You can try the app without the headphones. It may work really good for you. But I love this. I'm going to put it on just to show you. Woo! I feel like a video game. But I like it. And it's very helpful. And it's very good reminder about our habits. And what this does is actually it forms our it goes into our neural pathways, and it forms new connections to work on our brain. Because right now, when we're forming new habits, the reason we're doing it 21 days is we're trying to form new neural connections, right? It's the same thing for tennis, right? They recommend you should be doing practicing all the time so that you get that muscle memory. But really, that muscle memory is forming the neuron connections. It's kind of like when you're driving. The first time you drove, you don't remember, like, oh my God, you're freaking out. Like, it takes you forever to do, check the mirror, check the left, check the right, and now it's like automatic, right? Because you've been doing it all the time. You form the neuron connections. Your brain knows what to do. Now, even like when you're going somewhere, when you're going to work, in the beginning, when your first day at work, you have to look at the map. You didn't know how to get there. You form the neuron connections, and you can do everything automatic. So you want to get to the point where your habits become automatic. And I highly recommend doing this. So there's actually, so this one is a Porter Vision one. The new headset is Bluetooth. I actually chose the one with the wire because, well, I'm into that. I don't want the Bluetooth in my ears all the time, especially for 20 minutes at a time. So I chose to get this one. It's even a lower cost to get this one. So, but yeah, that's it. I know I went longer, but I wanted to just tell you guys why habits don't work actually, and how to get around it, and study a lot about the brain and how we can form new neural connections, because that's where I'm at right now. Water and sleep have the most effect right now on our brains and the neural connections. So make sure you're getting enough water and that you are getting that sleep, so that we can form new habits. And that is it for the 21-day challenge. Reach out to me if you've got any questions. If there's somebody else helping you, you can reach out to them as well. But yeah, happy, healthy journey, right? So, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.